This is TWiT.
Ocean plastic mouse.
The crumbs in the bottom of the potato chip bag.
Yes.
Yeah, so that one, the reason I was saying this to Leo earlier, Mary Jo, but I talk to PC makers all the time. There's always these briefings. For the past 2, 3, 4 years, maybe, HP, Dell, Lenovo, others are talking up their use of recycled materials. They all want to be as low impact as they can be on the environment and so forth. And every one of their devices, every single time, like HP comes up with a new Dragonfly, and then another Dragonfly, and and every time it's like, we've increased our use of this and that, and it's the biggest thing in the world. There's like 117 different categories of how they're using recycled bits. I distinctly remember the first time I'd heard this, one of these companies had used some recycled ocean-bound plastics in the molding around a speaker in one laptop. And it was just something they called out, and they said, we're going to be doing more and more of this. And sure enough, that's all they talk about now. And Microsoft came out, and they're like, look, we made a mouse. We're so proud of it. We're going to call it the ocean, whatever they call it, the stupid name, recycled ocean something. And it's like, guys, you got to do a little more than that. Like, here's an idea. Why don't you use ocean plastic, recycled, whatever, in everything, and just make it part of your whole deal? And I think they will, but this, I think, kind of speaks to Microsoft as more of a boutique PC maker than the big players. And the fact that they felt the need to come up with a mouse that advertises, which frankly looks like a bar of soap with flavor crystals in it or something, I just find to be...
I think it makes
bizarre,
you feel
like
good, though. It's an interesting choice, especially because you don't normally want to put the word plastic in any product description.
Sure.
Right. Here's my new plastic Volkswagen Bug. I mean, nobody wants that. But in this case, they're kind of highlighting this is made out of plastics, recovered from the ocean.
Yeah. You're right. And unfortunately, what it really highlights is how little they do everywhere else, right? So they have this gigantic product line of beautiful new Surface devices. And I thought they were going to launch into this thing about, we're doing this across the board. And they went right into accessibility instead.
Well, I should point out, it's only 20% made out of recycled ocean plastics.
Yeah, they're killing it. I mean, they're killing it.
So even the mouse itself is 80% non-recycled plastic.
Like, we found this Clorox bottle on the beach and we turned it into a mouse. Look, I think any effort in this area is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, unfortunately, because it's
should be more.
One thing.
Should be more.
It just highlights that they're not doing it everywhere else.
Yeah. I feel like more and more Microsoft is playing up things they're doing around sustainability, especially, with their data centers and Azure. You hear them talk about this a lot. The carbon neutral footprint stuff they're aiming towards, right? And I think because when Satya Nadella had in his closing remarks, he talked about accessibility and sustainability a lot. Like that was kind of his theme.
Yeah, 2030, I think, was the goal to be net neutral on carbon emissions or whatever it was.
Right. So I think they believe, and I think a lot of people believe that especially younger people are very attuned to this. They want to know that the company they work for is on board with trying to fight climate change and trying to do the right thing in that area. So I feel like it was a nod to that.
I feel like they are so far behind it's not worth pointing out. They're not even in the game. So maybe they will be by 2030, and that's great. And like I said, any step in that direction is positive. I'm just saying, calling it out in such an obvious fashion by having a product, a mouse. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Every one of your mice can't have 20% recycled materials. That's crazy.
Maybe they will going forward.
I'm sure they will. All I'm saying is HP, Dell, Lenovo, et cetera, are doing a much better job of this. And Apple. Yeah.
Everybody has to. I mean,
how long has Apple been talking about this?
I'm always suspicious because I feel like corporations pay lip service to a lot of things. Last year, everybody had the Black Lives Matter banner, but, that was... It was more to like, don't worry about us. We got this. And then business as usual.
Don't throw a bucket of blood at our building.
Yeah, business as usual. And I feel like there's a certain amount of this going on too. But I also think it may be sincere. And in the cases where it's sincere, we should really applaud it because it's so important. And it needs to be done.
You're sucked in with the Surface Duo, and now all you're doing is defending this company.
All right, I'm going to say one thing that Microsoft did really well, and I was very moved by accessibility and adaptive products. And I don't think there's any computer company in the world that is as committed to making their stuff accessible and is very forefront about that. And you got to, I know Paul, you're an evil bitter person, but you gotta.
No, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Wow.
You gotta at least give them a pat on the back for that.
Yeah. No, I like what they did here. And I love this.
Yeah.
I said at this was, there are parts of this Surface Adaptive Kit I want to use.
Me too.
Well, I love the
said
line.
I thought this was
I
really
love
cool.
the line. The guy said, "Look, we're all going to be disabled eventually at some point in our lives."
He said some of us just got there first.
Some of us just got there first.
That is beautiful. I thought that was really nice. Yeah.
It is. No, and if you think about it, I was like, oh yeah, it's a bunch of stickers. But then I walked over and saw like, oh wait, like you can like put a sticker right on the side of your laptop where a certain port goes and have the same sticker of the same color with dots or whatever. So people who can't see well can like more easily do that. My mom, trying to explain to my mom how to put a power cord
I thought the same thing.
I was like,
This is where it goes. It's so beautiful.
And me without my glasses also.
Well,
I can't.
exactly.
I could never see that.
So I'm really pleased that they did this, and I think that
I
they
liked
did it very well.
I thought it was super cool.
That was nice.
Very cool. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.